Hi, I'm Rita May with the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service, and today Dr. Sandra Baston is going to demonstrate a recipe from the Nutrition Education Program Calendar. She's going to demonstrate corn pudding.
Thank you, Rita. Well, today we have a pretty simple recipe, but it takes a little while to cook, so you have to be prepared if you're going to put this in your menu. What we like about this is that it's easy to put together. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. Your children could help you do this. You can get the stuff ahead of time, leave it in the refrigerator for a short period of time, and then get it all together before you slide it into the oven. We also have a real nutritional value in this corn. Corn has some essential amino acids that are essential, means that we have to eat them. We can't make them in our body. And so it's a nice starchy vegetable. It's got a lot of color, but it's also full of nutritional value as well. So what we're going to start with today is I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup of flour, and I think our recipe actually says 4 tablespoons, which is the same thing as a 1/4 cup. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of sugar. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. And these are just going to give us just a little bit of added flavor rather than just having a raw corn taste. We're going to mix that together just a little bit, and then we're going to add the rest of our ingredients together. We've got 2 cups of milk. With this milk, I'm using fat-free, and I have reduced some of the fat that is in the milk, and that allows us to cut the calories. We could also use, if we had small children in the household, we might want to use that whole fat milk because that fat is needed for the growth of small children, and so we might want to include that. I've also got a tablespoon of melted butter, and I just put that in the microwave for 10 seconds. And then I also have 2 eggs here. It's a good idea to put the eggs into a plain container when you're cracking them open, so that you can see that they're fresh and they're nice in a lemony yellow color. And then I'm going to beat these just a little bit before I add them. The eggs and the flour are going to help thicken our corn, and it's going to also add a little bit nutritional value. The egg is the perfect protein, and so we want to include eggs into our diet when we can. We're also going to add 2 15-ounce cans of corn that I have drained the water off of. And if it's the summertime, you could use fresh ears of corn that you cut off the cob. The same amounts is about 3 cups total. And we could also get those ears of corn from the farmer's market. So even though our recipe may call for canned, we can also use fresh or frozen. So now I've added all my ingredients together, and I'm going to end up with a pan that I'm going to have to put this in so that it will bake. And I'm using a plain pan that I have used many times in my kitchen, and it could be used for cake, and I use this so that you can see you don't have to have a special pan. And then I'm going to grease it lightly. I could do it with a cooking spray of some kind, but I could also take a small amount of shortening and then simply go around the sides and the bottom of my pan so that the corn pudding will not completely stick. Then I'm going to add the corn pudding to my pan without splashing it all over the kitchen so that I don't have too big of a mess. And then I'm going to put it into the oven, a preheated oven at 350 degrees, and it's going to bake for just about an hour. After it's baked for an hour, it will come out looking something like this. And this one is still hot. I just took it out. But I'm going to, the first 30 minutes, I'm actually going to stir it while it's in the pan. And we do that because at the bottom of the pan, it starts to congeal. It starts to thicken, like we added our eggs and our flour. And so that allows it to cook evenly. And then when I want to see whether it's done or not, I can simply put a knife in to see that my knife comes out clean. And then I know that it is clean. It is ready to eat. I also see that it is not shaky. If we look at this and we shake it just a little bit, you can see that it will look that way for quite some time. But now that it's done, it's nice and firm and solid. And it's ready to spoon out with your favorite meal. I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration and that you'll try some of the Nutrition Education Program calendar recipes.